When is the best time to buy and sell, or short and buy to cover an instrument based on the day of the week? You're going to find out in this video. We're going to be testing out every day of the week with different instruments as well in different sectors and summarizing those results. Okay, so let's talk about it. And maybe in your next trading system, you can use your day of the week as either an entry signal or a filter. Now, some of my best strategies are very simple, where they only have one or two rules. And I know the day of the week kind of sounds too simple to be true. You know, when it comes to quantitative trading, you think everything has to be complex and you have to have all these different rules and, using all these different calculations. And personally, some of my best strategies are very simple. I do have some complex strategies as well that make money, but most of them are actually pretty simple. So yes, you can use day of the week as your entry signal or a filter and have it be successful. Of course, you want to do proper testing to find that out yourself, and we'll be doing that in today's video. Okay, so on my screen here, we have, I always mess this up. Okay, so there's the results there. We'll go over that in a bit, and then how I tested it. So obviously there's only 7 days in a week, and I've selected here in StratGen those days of the week, and then I tested long and short each symbol to get those results. So for example, we'll do gold right now. Let me just clear them. So we'll select entry and exit for those day of the weeks. We're going to simulate on gold. We're doing the last 4 years, 2020 to October 1st, 2024. I like to save the last 9 months as kind of a validation tool to make sure that the strategy has made money in the most recent market events. And then we have a 50% out of sample rate. So we're optimizing on 50% of the data and then testing out of sample on the rest of the 50%. So I'm just showing you how I got the results using StratGen. If you want to get access to StratGen, see the links in the description below, stratgensoft.com. Then it'll spit out the results in sample, out of sample, and then combine results. And then what I did was I sorted by return to drawdown and picking the best parameters. So for gold, it looks like it was Thursday entry and Thursday exit for the long side, giving us the highest return to drawdown of 3. So return to drawdown is the net profit divided by the max drawdown. If you do 69,000 divided by 23,000, it should add up to 3. So I did that for one instrument in each sector. Obviously, in the future, maybe we can do more symbols, but I tried to cover each sector to get some good diversification and some more data points for us. And I would do same on the short side and long side. I'll show you I already have it open here. So for example, Thursday, if I actually chart this, I got to rerun it. My apologies. Just want to make sure it's logically working and buying on Thursdays and selling on Thursdays. Now, this wouldn't be the same day. So if it shows Thursday and Thursday, it would be holding for a week essentially. So buying on a Thursday and then selling on the next Thursday in the future. These were not intraday tests. That's another test you could do as well, but these were simply buying on that when the new session happened for that trading day. So in this case, we're testing futures as I trade futures. So they'd be buying on the futures session open, which would be at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if I go to that Thursday and chart that, the orange line is our strategy, and then the blue line is the benchmark, which would be the gold price. Now, if we look at the trades down here, they should be selling a week later. So entering January 9th, exiting the 16th. That makes sense. Yep. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so I did that for long and short for each strategy for all those symbols. So once again, one symbol per sector. We got currencies here with the Euro FX futures, energies here with oil, metals here with gold, stock indices here with S&P 500, E-mini contracts, interest rate products here with the U.S. Treasury bond futures. I believe it's 30-year. Wheat here for agricultures, and then we did Bitcoin as well for crypto. So long and short, I found the best entry and exit for each symbol. There's other results. I highlighted some in green as they were similarities between two different instruments. So for the long side, S&P 500 futures, it's best to enter on a Monday for the long side and then exit on the following Monday. And that was also the same for Bitcoin futures as well, entering on a Monday, selling on that following Monday. And I think the reason is the correlation. S&P 500 and Bitcoin are very positively correlated, especially as of recently. So I could see that happening, that Mondays was the best time to buy and the following Monday would be the best time to sell. And once again, this is on the futures open session time. So it would be 6 p.m. Monday would be the best time to enter and then sell on the following 6 p.m. Eastern Monday in the following week. Now for the short side, we can see obviously some changes here, but we had three similarities between gold, wheat, and Bitcoin where it's best to short on Wednesday and buy to cover that short the following day on Thursday. All right, so essentially you'd be holding a position for one day. And we saw that with three different instruments, even though they're all in different sectors, metals, agricultures, and crypto. That was the best time to short. So that was very interesting to see. We see for something like oil, we see that Monday again. For S&P, it was actually Wednesday. So very interesting to see. And in the columns here, obviously I put best entry and exit. So to the left of the slash is entry, to the right of the slash is exit, right? So what you could do with this information is a couple things. So some of these were not profitable. For example, if I simulate the short side for S&P, we should get Wednesday as the best performer. But if I actually simulate the short side, it was unprofitable to short every Wednesday. So to combat that, obviously you could add a second rule. I only tested one rule, so you could add a second rule where if Wednesday and some other rule condition, you may be able to find a profitable short strategy. So that's one caveat with this test is, yes, I did pick the best day of the week to short and to go long. However, some of them were not profitable. So as viable trading systems, you would want both the long and short side to be profitable to have a good risk-adjusted return. So it should be Wednesday here. Here it was. But as we can see, it had to return a drawdown of 0.83 and a negative P&L. So not a great strategy. Obviously, shorting the S&P once a week, forcing it to short once a week, it's going to be hard to find profitable strategies as, stock indices in general go up over time. So some of these, individual signals probably aren't good and you may need to add a second filter. But most of them were profitable and we're interesting to see when the best days of the week were to enter, right? As far as the reasoning on why are these the best days to enter? So we're taking a mathematical approach over, the last 4 years and finding the best risk-adjusted return rules. But you could come up with many ideas on why they're the best. Like, why is it best to enter on Monday for S&P 500 futures? Maybe it's because the weekend has passed and traders have digested information. Maybe a lot of good information comes out during the weekend, so it's best to enter on that Monday as traders have digested that information. You come up with a whole bunch of reasons. All that matters is, if you have significant data to back it up with in and out of sample periods and enough trades, then, going off that mathematical basis, what quantitative and algo trading is about, and StratGen helps you to test that as well. So that is my test. I would say for me personally, I'm going to explore these further. I think I'm going to expand on all of the strategies that are not profitable on the day of the week and add them a second rule to see if I can, get some profitable, like for example, on the S&P 500, the Wednesday was not profitable. So maybe add a second rule set to get that to a profitable in and out of sample back test. And then, look at the last 9 months and see if it's made money if I want to decide to trade that live. But yeah, there's definitely more tests you could do with this. I think this is a great starter. Obviously, we didn't go over, other time frames. We just tested, daily bars. So we could have tested, what if you did 5-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute bars. But it is interesting to see some, with correlation, to see some of the same rules for different sectors. And this one really intrigues me. Gold, wheat, and Bitcoin. I, off the top of my head, I don't think they're correlated. Maybe they are after if I do some testing. But it's really interesting to see that Wednesday was the best time to short and Thursday was the best time to buy to cover. So that definitely will intrigue me. But anyways, I'm going to use this to maybe expand on and build some more strategies with. And I hope you found value in these types of videos, these types of stats videos. This I feel like is the most value I can give to you, give you kind of ideas that you can expand upon. I think that's really important with, quantitative trading is giving you ideas that you can expand upon because, simply sharing strategy ideas, which I do and I've done. And, we talked about in a previous video, our pivot strategy, which has been doing so well, helps you to a certain point, but it doesn't give you that creativity aspect of signal generation. So I think these types of stats videos will help you more. We do more of these stats videos in my community below, links in the description below, and then the software I use to generate these strategies and test them was StratGen. So you can get that below too, stratgensoft.com. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like these types of data videos where we go over the boring numbers of strategy ideas. I know these types of videos don't get the most views because most people watching are intermediate to experts and it doesn't really appeal to the general audience. So unfortunately, I don't care about that too much and I'd rather, provide more value with these stats videos. So happy Sunday. I'm doing a Q&A actually later today at 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you do watch this video before then, feel free to hop in. I'm going to put them in the comments below on how to join. But I may upload that on my YouTube channel. We'll see what people feel about that. Or it may just be uploaded in my community. But anyways, happy Sunday. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.